Hi. Okay, this video is a quick recap about HCF. So let's start with the definition of HCF. So HCF means highest common factor. So if we look at the term itself, we must first get ourselves familiar with the definition of factor itself. So factor is a number that divides exactly into another number with no remainder. Okay, so basically it's a whole number. Common means we are trying to find the similar of the given number, whether it's a 2 given number or 3 or 4. And highest means out of the numbers given, what is the similar and the highest in value in terms of the factor that each number has. So for example, we have here the question, find the HCF of 16 and 24. So what I'm preparing here is I'm offering you 3 different methods, and I will leave it to you with whichever method that you resonate with the most. And the whole point is you have to know that in maths, yes, there's always one answer, but there are multiple ways to arrive to such answer, okay? So let's start with the caveman method. Now, I call it the caveman method because this method is only applicable when it comes to smaller numbers. Okay, for example, 24 and 16. So this is what you do. You first list down the factors for each number. Okay, so 24, we have 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8. Ooh, I know my times tables. And 4 times 6, 5 we don't have, and then we go back to 6 times 4. The moment a pair of factors is repeated, that means it indicates that you've got to stop there. That's it. And for 16, you have 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4, and then 4 times 4 again. So that means that's it. Okay, so what we'll do now is we are trying to find the common part. We've listed down the factors. We are done. Now, what numbers are common among the two? So we have 1, we have 2, we have 4, and we have 8. Okay, we've identified the common one. Now, let's go to the third part. The third part says you have now to find the highest of all the common things you've identified. So as you can see, the highest is 8. So that means the HCF equals to 8. Done. This is the first method. Now let's move on to the second one, the L method. This method is applicable when it comes to double-digit or maybe triple-digit numbers, especially for those numbers that you never memorize the times tables. For example, like 32 or 128 and so on. Okay, but I'm using the same number still. Okay, 16 and 24, but I'm just going to explain to you how do we apply the L method. So the first thing you do is you draw the L. Duh. L. Ooh. Okay, now second thing you do is you put the numbers in 16, 24. Okay, so the first thing you should do now is you have to think about any number that can be divided into both without any remainder. And if you can, because you're finding HCF, start thinking of the highest number that you can think of. Since 16 and 24 are both multiples of 8, so we put 8. And we divide it individually. So 16 divided by 8 is 2. 24 divided by 8 is 3. Now, when you want to move on to the next round of division, the idea is still the same. What is the number that can be divided into both without any remainder? So now you can't find any except for 1. The moment you found 1, that means that's it. So what you do now is you just multiply whatever you have on your left side. So HCF equals to 8 times 1, which is 8. Ta-da! Okay, now the third one. The third one is we are using the factor 3. This is quite interesting as well because this is the same method that you actually use to find the prime factors. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's start with 24. So 24, you draw two branches. So you got like 4 and 6. And you further branch it out, 2, 2. The moment it ends with a prime, you stop. 2. We put a circle to indicate that there will be no more branches. And then 6, you got 2 and 3. Done. Now, for 16, you do the same thing. We start off with 2 branches. Both are not prime, so that means we have to further continue. And this will give us 2, 2. Okay. Now, what do we do now is, because we want to find the common and the highest factors, we are trying to locate what numbers are repeated in both factors. So we have 2, 2, another pair of 2, and then another pair of 2. Okay, so HCF for this one, according to the factor tree method, is you multiply the numbers that are similar and can be found in both numbers, 24 and 16. So 2 times 2 times 2 equals to 8. Done. So, in conclusion, what I'm trying to say here is it is very vital for everybody to first understand what highest common factor means, and then I have already shown you the different methods to arrive to the answer. I'm offering the options to you, but it's always good for you to also know the alternative method, because when it comes to answering questions, when you want to check, double check, the method to double check is not to verify what you've written, but actually to reattempt the question using different methods available that you already know. Okay, so yeah, we are done with HCF. The next video will